All right, welcome to the Virtue Bowling Supply YouTube channel, your go-to place for non-staff, non-biased, multi-style reviews. My name is Chris, and I'm here to bring the high ref perspective.
And my name is Josh, and I will be bringing the low ref perspective.
All right, today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Brunswick Crown Victory, and I'm going to be comparing it to the IQ2 Tour AI and the GB5 Pearl.
And I'll be comparing it to the Dark Side and the GB5 Pearl. These reviews will give us and you an idea of what these rocks look like going down the lane. At the end, we will give our honest, non-biased review of these pieces anywhere from nuts to trash. So make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you out on the lanes.
All right, just wrapped up throwing the brand new Brunswick Crown Victory. And then going down the lane here at Bolero via Linda, I feel like this was a really good shape. I feel like it was pretty clean, but it was also really controllable off the end of the pattern. It wasn't too quick to where you got it to the friction at hockey stick. I feel like it was more blended than a lot of these cleaner symmetric balls that I've seen. And I really liked the way that it went through the pins as well. Now we're going to go ahead and throw 5 shots with the GB5 Pearl and see how that compares. All right, just wrapped up throwing the GB5 Pearl, and for me, I feel like the GB5 Pearl is kind of a slight step down from the Crown Victory. It's definitely cleaner. I feel like I had to be a little bit slower with my ball speed just to get it to turn the corner, and I feel like the GB5 Pearl is ultimately a little bit more continuous than the Crown Victory is. All right, now we're going to go throw 5 shots with the IQ2 Tour AI and see how that compares. All right, just wrapped up throwing the IQ2 Tour AI, and compared to the Crown Victory, I feel like you could shape the ball a little bit more with the IQ2 Tour AI. I feel like when I got it to the friction, it really wanted to see it and make the corner, as where the Crown Victory really was a little bit smoother and a little bit more controllable off the end of the pattern, and was slightly more forward through the pins than the IQ2 Tour AI was. All right, final thoughts on the Crown Victory. For me, I feel like this is a really good bottom of the bag type of ball where you can go to this when there might not be as much oil on the lane, but they might be a little bit cliffed, to where you need a little bit more length through the front part of the lane, but you don't want anything that's too angular off the end of the pattern. I feel like that fits that blend really well, where it's really easy through the front part of the lane, but really smooth off the end of the pattern, which I really like to see. So I think I'm gonna have to give this one a fire. I really like this one.
Just wrapped out throwing 10 shots with the Brunswick Crown Victory. I felt like this ball for me was one of those smoother, more predictable, shinier shapes that you get in a ball when they start to hook, but it doesn't go sideways. It's not super angular off spot, but it still provided me down lane motion to be angular enough through the pins, which I absolutely love, because if I can feel like I have control over the ball and it still gives me down lane motion, like that's when you know a ball is going to be good. I felt like this for me was very similar to my Melee Jab Carbon in overall shape, just overall hooked a little bit more. But now we're going to go ahead and throw 5 shots with the DV8 Dark Side and see how it compares. After throwing the DV8 Dark Side, I felt like these two balls were fairly similar. However, I do feel like the Dark Side was just a hair more down lane than the Victory. I felt like it just came off the friction just a hair more. Another way I could also tell that it was cleaner was when I missed in the oil, I could feel it skate down the lane where I felt like the Crown Victory actually wanted to pick up in that same spot just a hair more. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw 5 shots with the GB5 Pearl and see how it compares. Just finished throwing 5 shots with the GB5 Pearl. I felt like this ball was the most angular out of all 3 I've thrown so far, and I did like the way it shaped. I just felt like it still forced me a little bit too far left. We were getting at the end of filming today, so they were kind of getting a little toasty, but it still gave me the right shape. I just missed another move and had to kind of, scoot another further couple boards left, and wish I did it a little sooner, or else this ball would have looked better. It looked good once I actually got there. It just needed to get there. Final thoughts on the Brunswick Crown Victory. I feel like this ball for me is definitely going to fill a spot that was kind of needed in my bag. Again, kind of replacing the Melee just because it's a little bit old, but I feel like this ball is going to strike a lot, especially locally here in Arizona. There are a lot of high friction centers, and I can see myself throwing this just about anywhere here, and it's still doing the right shape, and be able to place even straighter on top of the friction because I know this ball will get through that. So for today and what we're bowling on right now and what I see down the road, I'm going to have to give this ball a fire. I felt like this ball shaped really well going through the pins, and like I said, I think it's going to be one of those more versatile balls, just because you can really still play straight with it, but also open up your angles and loop it a little bit more if you want to as well.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you found this video useful, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.